Welcome to this week's edition of Bayside. I'm your host, Sheli Sanders. This week we're talking all about children and a great event that helps to support the Joshua House. Here to tell us more about what we're going to be talking about today, I've got DeDe Grundel. You're with the Joshua House, and Tammy Levent. You do wonderful things here in the Bay Area. You've got an exciting party that's coming up, all to celebrate the annual Tammy Levent Appreciation Day, aka some of us like to call it a birthday. But before we divulge too much, I know that if any of you at home watch the show on a regular basis, you know how I love to tease you a little bit. So let's talk to you about the Joshua House, because what a fantastic charity for this particular event to go and support. So tell us about the Joshua House. I know I alluded to it a little bit in the open, but let's go ahead and talk about it.
Thank you so much, Shelley. I do appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk about Joshua House, because we too are celebrating our birthday, Tammy. You know, we're celebrating 20 years,
wow.
and I represent the founders of Joshua House. So it's Friends of Joshua House Foundation, and Joshua House is actually a program of the Children's Home Society of Florida's Gulf Coast region. It was developed by ordinary people just like you and I, that are sick and tired of reading the paper and hearing about yet one more child dying at the hands of their parent or another adult in their life that's supposed to be their caretaker. And so 20 years ago, these fabulous people like Dottie Berger McKinnon and Olin Mott and the late Bob Thomas, they all got together and they said, how can they make a difference? And the first thing they did was try to find out what way to make a difference. And the state said, please, just build us a shelter so that we can take care of these children. Well, the evolution of Joshua House over the 20 years has been really remarkable, because Children's Home Society of Florida has really taken it to the nth degree. They've created a therapeutic treatment program. It's a residence for these children that have been severely and significantly abused. They've been so badly neglected that they have behavioral issues, they have attachment disorders. These are not bad kids, these are kids that have had really bad things happen to them. And sometimes you just need a little help to get those coping skills to get to the next level. What we do is we enrich their lives, we provide them with opportunities to get greater success, to develop their self-esteem, to become better citizens and better adults so that they don't perpetuate the cycle of abuse. They go to ordinary schools, they live on the site. You know, it's a beautiful campus, it's 11 acres, it's set up just like a neighborhood. So each one of the homes has 12 children in it. Right now we have 36 kids living out there. We have master level therapists that work with them and help them. But they go to school with other kids, you know, they don't feel segregated.
Mm-hmm. So you try to make it as normal as possible.
Absolutely, and that was the design of Joshua House, to look like a neighborhood, to feel like a neighborhood, so that they don't feel like they're living in an institutional type setting. And so the children absolutely flourish and they blossom and they become, you know, they come out of their shells. We watched, you know, I'll just give you an example. You know, we've got a little young boy named Joe. And Joe comes to Joshua House and he's pretty much a feral child. Think about your mother neglecting you and never feeding you and never giving you the attention because she's out there doing drugs or whatever it might be that she's doing. And the only time she gives you attention is to beat you into a corner and put cigarettes out on the top of your head or whatever it might be. So eventually this child ends up at Joshua House and is despondent. At the age of 6 is suicidal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What kid thinks that they want to die at 6 years old?
Sure.
Unless they think that they're not even worthy of living.
Sure, and so the outcome, what happened to little Joe? I'm sure we're all on the edge of our seat, like, what happened to Joe?
So picture him, you know, he's in a corner and, you know, staff are trying to get him to come and eat dinner and he's gnashing his teeth and just scared to death, and he's like this for 6 months. And now, you know, here it is 2 years later and he plays on a local football team with other kids and he's, you know, getting on the honor roll and he's having birthday parties with all these friends and he's living an enriching life and he's ready to become part of a family and be successful in a foster home.
Sure.
And this is just little tiny snippets of what Joshua House does. Every child that comes through there, 1,500 kids in the last 20 years. years.
Oh, wow.
You know, each one of their lives is touched in some way.
Mm-hmm. And yours in turn, I'm sure, just listening to your story. So many success stories have come out of this, and so it is a true rehabilitation in trying to integrate them back into real society, so to speak. How is it that you come into play, Tammy? I mean, what role is it? How did you come to find Joshua House?
Well, I went there. My daughter is 26 now, but she was 16, and she was singing at the time, and I went to a meeting. I don't remember where I was, and I believe DeDe was in the meeting, and she heard my daughter sing, and she said, I would love to have Katie come and sing at Joshua House. And I knew nothing about Joshua House. And when I went there, it was during Christmas, and she sung a few carols with the kids, and they just swarmed to her, and they just loved it, and it was inviting. And then after I found out more about Joshua House, I said, you know what, I'm going to make a commitment when the time comes and I can, and I'm able, because I wasn't at the time, I definitely want to support and do something for Joshua House, because it hit a little bit close to my heart, and I've had, you know, in my family, some domestic violence, some, I wouldn't say really child abuse, with my father, and with other family members as well in our family. I think we all have that somewhere in our family. And it just struck me, and I said, you know what, if there's something I could do, but I had to be a little creative with that.
Yes, and creative you certainly were. And I think the biggest thing is the fact that you do, when you say that all of us have some sort of attachment to it or affected by it in some way, shape, or form, even if it's on a community level, because it is a community issue ultimately. Because what are we going to do with these children or any member of your family? And in your case, what are you going to do with this? And I have to commend you on your creativity and how you've brought that into play for a wonderful affair for the community, in addition to yourself and the Joshua House. However, we do have to take a couple of breaks here, and we are going to take one now and come back and let you know just how you can get involved. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Sheli Sanders. I've been talking with DeDe Grundel and Tammy Levent all about the Friends of Joshua House and this fantastic upcoming event. And without further ado, I want to jump right in and talk about it. We've got a couple of birthdays that we're celebrating. First of all, a birthday to the Joshua House, 20 years in the making. And Tammy, very selfless, if you will, of yourself to hold a community party on your birthday. So
it's great. We
happy birthday in advance.
We end up with 400 to 600 people there, so that's great. And
fantastic.
I pretty much can have anything that we want. It's a little different, so you have to be a little selfless and think about the kids that don't have as much, and that you want to do something. And again, it was the commitment that I made years ago, and now that I can, I did it. I have a travel agency, and I have a great following in this area, so it's great that we have tremendous amount of support. And I have to say, I have to thank our sponsors and the people that have really, really made this happen, because without them, this wouldn't happen. This is our 4th year. Our first year, just to give you some of the experiences, we had the Prince of Austria come to that event. The second year, I had Sister Sledge perform. Last year, we had a whole entire Cirque du Soleil show. So you never know what to expect at the Tammy Levent birthday bashes.
And this year, Greek to Freak. And sponsors, my gosh, I mean, just to even...
We have food.
There's a plethora of sponsors here. My gosh, just to name a few, we've got... Dr. Yes, Laura,
Bella Med
you've got
Spa,
Azacar, Urban Body, Panache, Bella Med Spa. You've got so many things going on, and I love the story about Dr. Laura as well, some of the things that are going on here. So let's jump right in, because we have so much content here with this event that there really is not enough time to talk about it all. Tell me about it. When is it? Where is it? What all is going to take place? I mean,
well, it's going to be July 21st from 7 to 11 at the Jaguar Fisker dealership over Rob Elder's, which is on Fletcher Avenue. And you can experience, this is what I call it, it's not really a party or an event, it's an experience. It's something to, you look at Greek to Freak and you say, wow, this is for kids. What the heck is Greek to Freak? I'm Greek. And I put a twist to it to bring it more to today's age instead of just having it all Greek as a Greek party. So the food is going to be all from Acropolis. So if you've been to Acropolis, he's, oh my God. I asked him, I said, just make appetizers. And he's making everything. There's no appetizers. This is a complete buffet meal that you're going to have, so you will not leave hungry. And then we have the liquor. V6 Vodka is donated vodka, but we have a full bar, and we have Bella Med Spa is sponsoring my Tiamatinis, and they have the Bella's Beauties walking around. Beautiful people everywhere. We're going to have live statues, so people are going to be painted as though they're live statues. We have a beautiful harem. The harem is awesome, and we're going to be fed cheese and champagne and wine and grapes, and it's a photo opportunity. We have a cigar lounge, a hookah lounge. We have so many things going on. I think by far, though, my favorite has to be, and Ian Beckles, by the way, is going to be doing the emceeing on this. And we have a lot of things in the silent live auction. I usually donate about 5 trips myself that we do for the auction, jewelry, a lot of artwork this year. All that's great and wonderful. But
do you hear this? You feel like you need to take a breath. Oh my God, there's more.
It's all for the kids. We want to raise money. That's the whole point. And we want to make it as an experience so people, when they come, they don't feel, I'm having a plate of dinner. I'm having somebody speak up there. We're going to talk about Joshua House. That's it. I felt like I didn't, you want my money when you walk in silent live auction, but you don't get anything else out of it. At least when you leave here, you say, God, I want to go next year again. And that's exactly what happens every year. I wasn't going to have my party this year. And it was like, but the kids need you. Okay, I'll do it for the kids, and I'm having the party. So it's a whole production. But my favorite part of the party is we're going to talk about the fashion show. That's my favorite. So in order to get money for charity these years, it's not easy, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not easy. To go up to someone and say, would you become a sponsor for $10,000, $5,000? It's not the way it was back in the day. What am I going to give you, a logo? What's that going to do? So what we decided to do is create an experience so they feel they're a part of it and show their product. So it's more marketing and getting them involved. So this year we have Dr. Cesar Laura, which I love that man to begin with if you've ever met him. He's an awesome person. And I asked him we had a fashion show, and we said, let's bring out, instead of normal models, let's bring your patients that have lost between 50 and 150 pounds as our models. So we have 5
What a great idea.
And 1 man. We're going to show the before pictures, and now they're going to walk out with lending luxury couture dresses. But it does a few things. One, we're raising money, again, for Joshua House. The second thing it does, think of the self-esteem of these people that have lost all this weight. They never in a million years would have thought about walking down a runway.
It's their extreme makeover moment.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
But what is it doing for his business? People are actually seeing seeing and believing. Instead of saying, wow, I saw it on TV, or I thought I saw it on the website. All that could be altered, fixed, taken in, but this is the real thing.
Live, real, tangible testimonies.
Well, we have the fun too. We have the belly dancers, and we have my dad's playing. My dad is a master bouzouki player.
Oh wow!
And he's in his 80s, and he's performing.
Go, Daddy! Love that.
DJ, music, everything.
Fantastic. I was going to say the list goes on and on and on, and every year it seems like you've outdone yourself. 400 guests approximately in the past. This year, who knows? You could even have more than that, and all to benefit the Friends of the Joshua House.
And we didn't even talk about the price. It's so inexpensive. I mean, there is a $50 ticket with 2 drink tickets with all the food and everything included, which is nothing. I couldn't even go out for that.
Right.
And then $75 is the way to go, though. That's VIP, and that includes everything, and then you get a lot of free things and swag bags, and we have a lot of free gifts in there, too.
Which really and truly, I mean, if you think about it, the Acropolis, the food there, if you've never been, phenomenal. Oh my gosh, like you said, you leave there with the Thanksgiving Day bloat, just amazing food. However, you couldn't go to the Acropolis for the price of your ticket and have this kind of phenomenal affair going on at the same time. This is a true, sounds like a party for all the senses.
It is, it's great. And this is an open bar as well. So you have that too. And
well, there you go. And you certainly couldn't do that.
And
my gosh.
The entertainment, everything.
Yeah.
So again, what you need to do, mark your calendars, people. Okay, so this is July 21st, Saturday, July 21st from 7 to 11 p.m. And I understand there's a VIP after party even.
Yeah, that's going to be, we may be changing the location.
Might be changing. So you've got a VIP after party on top of it. I mean, my goodness, if you can even make it that far. So I encourage you to go ahead and get the VIP tickets. In the meantime, you mark your calendars. We're going to take a short break, go to some commercial break here, But we're coming back to tell you even more about this fantastic affair and the Joshua House, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Bayside. I've been talking with DeDe Grundel and Tammy Levent all about a big birthday bash going on called Greek to Freak to celebrate annual Tammy Levent Appreciation Day, because you guys at home know I don't like to call them birthdays. But it all goes to benefit the Joshua House. What a phenomenal charity. Kudos to you guys, and 20 years in the making, so it's sort of a co-birthday party. If you at home would like more information about it, I know we've given you lots and lots of content already and haven't even given you website addresses. I'm going to give that to you now, and of course we've had them on the show, and we'll continue to post them so that you can write them down. You can always log on to Friends of Joshuahouse.org, friendsofjoshuahouse.org, and that will give you all the information you need to know about Joshua House and how, if you want to get involved and volunteer, and perhaps like more information on it, you can always do that there. But there's also a link through events. You're looking at that website right now. You can see Tammy's gorgeous photo there from years past. And we give you all that information there on the website via the events link, or you can always log on to Tammy's website directly, and that's Tammy Levent, LEVENT.com, and get your tickets right away, because I would advise that you go ahead and get those now, because you can do the prepaid fees.
Or you can pay more at the door. Or you can
pay more at the door, certainly.
And then wait in line at the door, but you don't want to do that.
I know, right? Get the tickets now.
Right.
And it goes to benefit your community, and that's what it's all about here. It's a big community affair. We don't do this very often, invite you to birthday parties here on Bayside, but we are today, and what a phenomenal affair. You know, during the break, we were even talking about more events that we hadn't even, or more
things that are
going on at this event that we haven't even talked about. The dessert room.
Dessert room, yeah, that's really great. Of course, we have Greek desserts, but we also have desserts from a woman who's phenomenal. It's TCP Sweets, and she's been doing it for charities for years. And I had some yesterday, and they're amazing. You don't even want to eat after you have her desserts.
You're going to have to go see Dr. Cecil
Laura after that.
After that, for sure. Go into the dessert room.
The Tammy-Teenies. We create our own Tammy-Teenie every year, so you get to try that. The minute you walk in, Bella Med Spa has sponsored that, where they're going to hand you a Tammy-Teenie. You're going to have a drink the minute you walk in. But the best part is, if you're planning a vacation or anything like that, of course, we have donated, Elite Travel has donated with my vendors and my sponsors. We have a few trips. We have a few trips, all-inclusive trips, 4 of those. But I also have a trip to Greece.
Oh,
so
apropos.
That alone is enough for you to come and bid on that.
And the silent auction items are phenomenal. Now, out of curiosity, in case we have a viewer that's thinking, hey, you know what, I've got an amazing whatever it is that I'd like to donate.
Oh, we're ready. We'll take it.
Bring it on, right? Never say no to any kind of
We need
sponsors.
Volunteers. We'll take those. We'll take.
That's right.
And if you can't make the event, by all means, you heard everything about Joshua House. Go ahead and send in a donation if you can, whatever you can do. Also, I don't know if you have your wish list on there. I didn't.
It is on there. There's actually a
too.
page that says wish list, and go to it. You'll see the school supplies they need, everything they need at the shelter. For
Real
Joshua
quick, because we
House.
only have a few seconds left, but what is like your #1 wish list item? Or is that just too hard to say?
There's just
anything and everything for children.
For nonprofit, #1 is always money, but
money, time, and any items for children, I'm sure, will not be turned away.
Yeah,
girls are
We are going to still talk about Tammy's event. Clearly, it's a lot of fun. We're still talking about it now. We do have to take a short break, but we're coming back after these messages to continue and finish this episode of Bayside, so don't go anywhere. As always, I'd like to thank you at home for joining us today, and thank you guys for being here, most certainly. Mark your calendar, Saturday, July 21st from 7 to 11 p.m. Log on to TammyLevent.com, buy your tickets early, and be sure to get out and get involved into your community. Log on to friendsofjoshuahouse.org. Get out, get involved. We'll see you next week on Bayside. I'm Sheli Sanders.